All right. So as most of you know, I start off with selecting a bunch of pictures over the past month that members posted on eBird that I felt some attraction to or were unusual. So I hope that you like them as well. So I like this picture that Stella took of two blue jays having a conversation. A little bit action flick. A tundra swan that showed up at Black Hill Regional Park, taken by Jim Ivitt. Always a very pretty bird to see. I took this one only because it was a good pose, and I found it out in the middle of the woods, not near any ponds or the river or anything like that. So I don't know what it was doing there, but this probably fourth year bald eagle was interesting to see there. Nice redhead by Karen Vogel at Gunner's Lake. It's a good place to go see redheads and other birds, as people were talking about earlier. Okay, then the next couple are unusual, and I don't think they're vagrants. I'll let you decide what you think. So I saw this emu when I was driving through Poolsville. It was in somebody's backyard. So I don't think it flew over. Maybe it hitched a ride on a boat. I don't know. And then even more, well, I don't know if it's more unusual, but unusual was this serval seen by John Soja at Hughes Hollow a few days ago. So emu is from Australia, and this guy is from Africa. And I think the scuttlebutt on GroupMe was that it was somebody's pet that escaped a couple years ago, and I guess it's still doing okay out there. And they weigh between 20 and 40 pounds. So I wouldn't want to have my dog or even me tangle with it. So anyhow, unusual sightings out that way. Now getting back to regular birds. Here's a green-winged teal in flight by Stephen Davies at Blue Mash. Nice colors in the wings there. I like this picture that Dave Roberts took of a white-winged scoter at Black Hill Regional Park. I was there at the time, and this bird would lift its head up, and it looked like he was going for flies or something. I don't know. This picture of the long-tailed duck by Evelyn Ralston at Riley's Lake. Nice pose, nice picture, nice bird. Siskins have been somewhat rare this winter in Montgomery County, although at times in the past there's been lots of them. But here's one that Chris Wright found at his house also a couple days ago. Now, you almost stole all my thunder, Mark, but this is a clip and a crop of great horned owls that Stephen Davies posted from Blue Mash on YouTube using a thermal imager. And I'm showing this partly because it's really cool, and partly because I think you might be seeing more and more of these types of movies and images in the future, especially as the thermal scopes become hopefully less expensive. So here's the female, supposedly, I guess it is, yeah, on the left, and you'll see coming from the right will be a male on a post there. He does his quick business and takes off. So anyhow, that's pretty cool. And I think Stephen found a long-eared owl in the general vicinity using this thermal imager as well, although I guess it hasn't been refound. So anyhow, I thought I'd just show that as a technology that you might see more of in the near future. Okay, so briefly, I just want to touch on some metabolism. So I don't know if you remember from high school or college, things like gluconeogenesis, the formation of glucose from other compounds, metabolites, and then glycolysis, or the use of glucose for energy supply. And I'm sure that you can all remember all these cycles, that go on. So I don't have to go over that. That's all fresh in your mind, I'm sure. But the key thing is that generally the liver takes lactate, aspartate, or pyruvate and can make glucose from that. And then the glucose can travel through the blood to the muscles, where glycolysis can lead to pyruvate, lactate, and ATP production for energizing the muscles. So that's glycolysis. So what about hummingbirds? Could hummingbirds use any of that? Well, they're the only bird that exhibit truly sustained hovering and fine maneuverability. They have the highest mass-specific metabolic rate of vertebrates. They directly metabolize dietary fructose as efficiently as glucose. In fact, they're essentially obligate nectarivores. And it's been shown in the past and recently again that they have a genetic facilitation of some of the glycolytic enzymes. The reason is not quite understood at this point, but these enzymes in the hummingbird shown in pink, these 5 here that are involved in glycolysis, are elevated in the hummingbird compared to the swift, which is I think the last big split from hummingbirds. You can see also that these enzymes are pretty much in both muscles, pectoralis of the birds, as well as liver. So these authors showed that, this is Osipova et al., showed that approximately, 30, 40 million years ago, they estimate that that the hummingbirds lost this enzyme by fructose biphosphatase 2. And this is about the same time that they evolved hovering flight. So this enzyme, this enzyme encodes the muscle enzyme that catalyzes a rate-limiting step in the formation of gluconeogenesis. So if this enzyme is knocked out and less fructose biphosphate to fructose 6-phosphate is formed, less glucose can be formed, and instead it can be directed towards degrading glucose and making energy for the muscle. So this enzyme, shown in greater detail on the left, is the one that's knocked out. And what they found was that this enzyme, there's 2 forms of it, and one form is only found in the liver, and is found in both the swift and in the hummingbird livers. The normally occurring FBP2 found in the swift is found in mostly the muscle and not the liver. And so in the hummingbird, it's knocked out. So again, this enables the production of more energy, which the hummingbird can use to flap its wings. And then I just wanted to mention, there are a couple other papers that came out relatively recently that suggest that, so what, you can now fly faster, you can hover, you can go forwards and backwards. You also have to have your visual system adapt to this change, and that has happened. And they've started looking at the neurons involved in vision in these, the processing of vision in hummingbirds, and find that they have adapted for rapid changes of flight and rapid movement. Okay, so that's my science tidbit. So let me see if I can